CNBC ekranlarındasınız. Ben Ceyhun Emre Doğru. Son dönemde özellikle Türkiye ve Körfez ülkeleri arasındaki ticaret ve yatırım ilişkileri gündemde. Ve özellikle de Birleşik Arap Emirlikleri ile olan ilişkiler daha fazla konuşulmaya başladı. Biz de bu konuyu bugün konunun uzmanlarından birisinden dinleyeceğiz. Abu Dhabi Port iştiraklerinden birisi olan Kezad Ekonomi ve Ticaret Bölgesi'nin uluslararası iş geliştirmeden sorumlu Başkan Yardımcısı Khalid Marzooqi bizimle. Mr. Marzooqi, welcome to Turkey. So, what do you think is the driving force behind the recent momentum between Turkey and UAE relations?
Thank you, Emre, for this opportunity. Historically, the relations between Turkey and the United Arab Emirates was very solid, was very strong. Today, we see many business transactions happens between the two nations. We see more commercial actions comparing to before. There was many, in the last few years, I would say, many government initiatives that took place. And today, the private sectors, they can capitalize on those initiatives. Also, CBA agreements, it took the relations between two nations to a new level, to higher levels, because it start to facilitate the activities in different sectors. If we look Turkey, whether it is production capabilities, with its access to Europe, we look at United Arab Emirates as being a preferred logistic hub in the region, connecting the East and the West and vice versa. With all the advanced and high standard infrastructure, both countries, they have already created a bridge and created many business opportunities that the private and public sectors can leverage on it. The momentum, as you mentioned, is driven by a growth, but also it's driven by a strong culture tie between the two nations.
And which sectors do you think are likely to lead the growth between Turkey and UAE over the next couple of years?
Now, I would say it determines by the strategic investments partnerships between the two countries and the sectors which are complementary to each other between the two nations. To give you, I just give you some examples. So, if we're looking at the food, for example, for UAE, food security is the top priority for United Arab Emirates. Turkish company with capabilities of production, as I mentioned, can leverage in this. Turkey agriculture businesses today can also benefit from what we are building now, which is called a food hub in the city, in our economic zones and free zones, which we will be launched by the end of the year. It will be a great place where the Turkish can showcase their products not only to the United Arab Emirates, to the wider regions. Automotive is another sector with both nations have experienced a growth in these sectors. And I'm not talking only about vehicle assemblies, or I'm not talking about only production side. I'm also talking about the how they can benefit in the spare parts and the after service activities and the businesses. Trading, it always will be one of the leading sectors between the two nations. When we speak about tradings, it's not only the B2B, it's also the B2C. There's a lot of e-commerce platform, specifically Turkish platforms have established. E-commerce platform has established in the United Arab Emirates, in the GCC, and the other surrounded regions. Previously, when we used to come to Turkey, as you know that UAE and GCC in general Arab, we love the Turkish attractions. We love to spend our summer here. It's actually one of the main reasons is actually because we love the Turkish products also. We love to come here and buy. But today with all those e-commerce platforms, we have access, we have our hand in this inventory by as we are in our hometown. Just last month, as a Kezad group, we signed a MOU with Trendyol. The reason was actually to do a facilitations of creating different hub, focusing mainly in the consumer commodities. Now, I give many examples of many sectors, but it's not limited to that. You have the metals, you have the building material. Some of them is actually more investment than one that I highlighted. The reason I give just more example of the one I mentioned, because this is, we see the trend of growth nowadays.
And are Turkish companies increasingly viewing UAE as a production and logistics hub rather than just a destination of market?
In fact, it is yes. The answer to this question is yes. To emphasize on this, let me just give you an example of our mother company. So our mother company, Abu Dhabi Ports, it has very strong capabilities in enabling trades. We are one of the industry leaders when it comes to the supply chain solution. We have 34 terminals around the world. We have 11 ports in the United Arab Emirates. We have a logistic and presence in more than 50 countries. With our partner, even we can reach to 150 countries. So we are all over the world. We have our own fleet of vessels. We have more than 300 vessels that different types operate by us to make sure that we provide to our partner a continuous operations and there is no disruptions regarding of the logistic situations.
So we know that global supply chains are evolving. There's a big transformation. What do you think Turkey and UAE can do to increase the resilience of trade routes in the region?
UAE and Turkey, they are complementary each other when it comes to the supply chains. Turkey, they have access to, as I mentioned, to Europe. They have access to CIS country. They have access to the wider regions around Turkey. UAE has access to the GCC, has access to Africa, has access to South Asia. Together, of course, they can create more flexible routes, trading routes, different options also for the traders, for the logistic companies. They can also create different kinds of hubs for both Turkish and UAE companies. UAE company can leverage with the production capability for the agricultures, for the metal, for the oil gas. With the Turkish, for example, even having a storage facility within the United Arab Emirates, this is give you a benefit because those companies might be closer to their consumer market. They might be closer to where they are sourcing their inventory. They can create new production lines where in the past, they used actually to source those material, let's say, for example, from East Asia. Now they can create that production line where they can create that specific raw material that they used to import in the United Arab Emirates, leverage all the benefits UAE has, and then source it to their main factory in Turkey. When we speak about resilience, for us as an Abu Dhabi ports, it's mainly a collaborations between the ports. It's a seaport, airports. Collaborations between the custom, it's very important. Collaborations between the trade digital platforms. And most important is it's collaborations between the private sector.
Well, making an investment decision is never easy, and I assume that there are a lot of questions you are getting from Turkish companies. What are the key questions that Turkish companies are asking when it comes to investing in UAE, and what are your answers to them?
Now, before answering these questions, I think it's important to mention that we have close cultures between the GCC, the Arab, and Turkey. This is make it Turkey, they have edge comparing to the other multinational, other international company who wants to enter the UAE, who wants to enter the GCC. It's easy for them to adapt to the market there. But going back to the questions, there is a common questions that they ask. For example, what is the price of establishing a company? What is the timeline for me to set up a company? What is the time I need to finish my construction? What is the tax regime that you have in country? How I can access to financial? How can I open bank account? There are some specific questions regarding like where I can source my raw material, what is the regulations, what is the certifications. So there's different type of questions that we receive, but for us, we feel that it's easier to work and deal with the Turkish company. Now, our advice for Turkish company who wants to penetrate the market for first time, so they don't have experience in the market, maybe they don't have partner in the market, we always recommend them to utilize our pre-built facility. We have different pre-built facility which will make them to enter the market immediately and enter the market with very low capital, enter the market with low operation cost. And they can use those pre-built facility to test the market, to do their research, to do the innovations, to see if the product's working or not. Our objective is to create ecosystem where Turkish company, when they enter, they are within a very healthy economy knowledge base.
And what role do you think Abu Dhabi can play when it comes to scaling Turkish industrial companies beyond their home markets?
Now, in Abu Dhabi, there is an existing value propositions which is available for the international company, multinational company. Specifically here, we are talking about the Turkish company. You are talking about the economy stability. You are talking about the growth of economy. This growth of economy that we are enjoying in Abu Dhabi in the last, not only years, in the last decades, it's very good actually opportunity for a Turkish company to have a presence in the market. Because as they have a presence in the market within any growing economy, they will be benefiting from all the investment opportunities that come around them, new new developments happen. This is very important. Another thing Abu Dhabi give you is a predictability. It's very important when you do a projections for your business plans, you understand how much your cost today, how much your cost after 50 years, what is the regulation today, what is the regulation after 10, 20 years. You don't want a surprise, you don't want so when you do your feasibility study, it's easier for you actually to understand like what is kind of resources that I need to put in this project. Abu Dhabi can accommodate with us as a Kezad, I mean working in the city of Abu Dhabi, we can accommodate all kinds of companies. We can accommodate small scale company, large scale companies. We have all the different options of facility. We have different incubation centers. Very easy to set up a company, very easy to get a free zone license. Innovations hub. We have pre-built facilities, as I mentioned, like manufacturing units, different type of warehouses. We can build the facility for the Turkish company and lease it back to them according to their requirement. We have a service land, which is equipped with all the services that companies generally need. Gas pipelines, they need low cost in terms of power, water availability. We have all that options available for the clients in order to move in and get all the services they need. I mentioned that also Abu Dhabi is having very strategic locations. In Abu Dhabi, it's not about just being a hub. It became kind of like a supermarket for the Turkish businesses. Let's say, in generally, talking about multinational company. If you have a good product within Abu Dhabi, it will be actually, eventually, you will see your product actually in the shelf of other countries. We have traders from all over the world coming to Abu Dhabi, coming to United Arab Emirates. Whatever success normally we see that in the UAE, you see that it start to go to the nearby regions around us.
Speaking of Turkish companies, from Kezad's perspective, which type of Turkish companies do you think are best positioned to benefit from Kezad's logistics and industrial ecosystem?
From Kezad perspective, we love to work with the company when they start initiating their feasibility study. Why? Because they have a checklist that they need to meet in order to put their projects. During when they are doing their checklist, should I enter the market or not? Many informations they are lacking that we can support them. Many support that we can come and support them at that time. For us, the most important checklist, we always inform the company, what is the impact in the local economy? It's not about UAE, anywhere in the world. If you want to have a successful entry to the market, you need to have a positive impact in the economy, because once you have a positive impact in the economy, everything will be simple to you. In Kezad, we have 17 sectors that we are accommodating within our economic zones and the free zones. Within that, there is many different industrial parks and hub. For example, we have metal park, we have food hub, we have auto hub, we have polymers park. Those park has been created in order to create a platform for easy entry. So companies within those park, within those industries, when they enter the market, utilizing those park, it's easy for them to adapt to the business regulations, the business environment there. Those park giving a lot of value propositions. They give you, for example, access to skills labor that you need, give you access to the technology that you need, give you a demand. If you don't know about the demand being within this park, because this park have the eyes of all the investors across the world coming in those park. And most important, those park can give you access to the raw material that will be very challenging for you to get.
Well, one final question. Looking ahead, what do you think success would look like between Turkey and UAE over the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, definitely we want to see and we will aim for more trade investments between the two countries. One way to achieve that is by awareness. And Emre, thank you actually for you and for your channels, because this is one of the very effective tools where we can send our voice for the market. I did not speak during today about the SME. SME, as you know, the backbone for any economics, for any development in any country. We spoke about many initiatives the government took between the two nations. We spoke about many investment trade opportunities has been created. So we believe that SME will be actually leading the trade and the investment in the coming years. Finally, I want to say that what we look forward to have more case studies of Turkish companies landed successfully, I would say, in the United Arab Emirates. Today, when I receive any delegations from all over the world, I immediately took them. I put in their agenda Pinar. Pinar, as you know, that is one of the largest Turkey dairy company. Pinar have wonderful productions facility within Kezad. So when I take the delegations, they get impressed about the technology that they are using, the machine they are using, and they are get impressed also by the products they are producing within the site. For us, this is actually what makes us proud.
Mr. Marzooqi, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.